So then, I don't know why this thought only recently came to mind, but I was thinking the other day about what the retrack of the first part of the rolls on Colossus means for the ride's future. Now, what I do want to say is, stuff I say in this video is my opinion and what I'm speculating. Please do not take this as fact or anything. This is just me taking a stab in the dark at what I think the replacement of the track on the first part of the roll meant and was for, and what I believe this means for the ride's future. I most likely am completely wrong with this. Please do not take any of this as fact. It is just my opinion on what I think could be happening there, so please do not take this as fact. So then, obviously, I think a lot of people remember over close season we found out that the first part of track of the first roll had gone missing from the ride, Thorpe Park TV speculation and all the campaign. Unfortunately, I don't have that footage. Apologies for that. I'm not very good at accumulating footage when I walk around the park. There were lots of people who did. I did walk past it, but this was in the early YouTube days for me where I would get home and go, oh yeah, I forgot to record any off-ride footage for rides today. I'm getting better at it, hopefully. By this time next year, I'll be a connoisseur of getting the footage that I actually need for these videos, but yeah, apologies for that. But the first section of one of the rolls had been retracked. Now, I personally believe that this was just for a maintenance standpoint of the ride. From the minimal engineering knowledge I have from the course I've done, rides especially can suffer from a whole different world of corrosion that would be incredibly important to the ride's maintenance and operation, in that so many different things can affect a ride that sometimes only minuscule elements need to be replaced. So what I think has personally happened, and the reason they replaced it, is in one of their inspections, which they do very frequently, they noticed either something like signs of fatigue occurring, signs of corrosion occurring from weathering, something along those lines, that they said it would be safer for the park if we were to replace this, because maybe it would make the ride more uncomfortable, or maybe it would have an issue to the ride's operation. And that's all I really believe this current part of the ride's track replacement is for, really. I think it's just they've done it for the operation of the ride. I do not believe that this is a retrack for like when Blackpool's doing it to make the ride smoother. I just think it's because it needed it, really. They've noticed something that needed replacing. It doesn't mean that the ride isn't working properly. It just means that the ride maintenance team are doing their job very well. They're spotting things that mean that they can keep upkeep of the ride, making sure that it's always operating at its highest capabilities, really. But it did get me thinking, given that last year we were celebrating Colossus's 20th birthday, it did get me thinking that this ride is getting on a bit, and although it's not as old as Nemesis, it is not going to be loads of years until it's reaching a similar point. And this replacement of this track got me thinking of, do we think that when Colossus does reach the age of Nemesis as of current, will the park want to retrack it, or what will the park's choice be? Because this is a very small section of track they've replaced, by the way, and I'm not saying that this means a retrack in so many years, but they are keeping an eye out for their rides, and well, they obviously are. They have safety in mind with all operations, which is why we have such high maintenance and why things are constantly replaced and kept to their highest standard. But Colossus is very much a flagship ride for Thorpe Park, and it's got me thinking on the thought of, would Thorpe Park ever retrack Colossus fully and reimagine this ride in that replace the trains? Because I'm sure a lot of people probably remember, this was sadly before I had the guts to go on it, but Colossus used to have trains which were nowhere near as uncomfortable, I've heard, but people were putting their legs out of them, so they redesigned it and pushed up the sides, which made it a lot more cramped. That could be replaced. They could do retracks. Now, I know this is a pipeline dream. There is no fact to back this up, and this would not be happening for years and years and years, because this ride isn't old by any standard yet. But I wanted to know what other people thought. Do you think that Thorpe Park, if they were ever had to, would choose to retrack Colossus, or do you think they would go down the route of a new ride in that spot and send Colossus to the scrapyard, sadly? Now, I also want to make it clear, I'm not saying that anything is going to happen with Colossus. It's running perfectly as of today, so don't worry. It will be for many more years, and this has no sort of fact behind it. I'm just doing what I usually do and go, oh, but what if? Because I clearly get bored and let my mind wander too much. But I'd just like to know what you think. Do you think there's another reason why the track was replaced? Because as I said, I'm just saying reasons that I could see as possible for why they replaced the beginning bit of track on the rolls. Do you know why? Please say what you think this was for in the comments, and if you believe there would ever be a future where Colossus is retracked. Thank you for watching. I know this was a bit of a weird one. Sorry, it was just a video where I thought I might as well make it, because it's one of those thoughts which has been lingering in my head for quite a long time. I thought, why not make a video on it? Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.